Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So am I audible and it's visible? Okay. There's no lacking in the audio and the screen. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Let's go. Okay, this is a new subject. Okay, green energy technology. We call it renewable energy or non-conventional energy sources. You will get different books naming this. So this is your syllabus. Okay, they have segregated into the four course outcome that you will be able to get to know after this. First is your identify uh, the different non-conventional energy sources, okay, and system, and realize the importance of these non-conventional energy in today's scenario. Okay. And second is analyze the performance and limitation of solar energy in wind. Uh, and later we'll study about biomass, geothermal, wave energy conversions, and at last we'll study about fuel cells, hydrogen production and storage. Okay, and even you will be also able to study your microgrid and all. These are the detailed portion what we are going to see. So first is a basic concept what it is generally we have. Okay, basic energy, conventional sources, fossil fuel limitations, renewable energy sources, advantages and limitations. Okay, global energy scenario, scenario of India and technologies in hydrogen energy, fuel cell biologies. So this will go to all get to know. Okay, so first four lectures is all about basics. So let's go ahead. Okay, this is introduction part. The what is an energy scenario presently in India. Okay, as we know, we our country is a developing nation. Okay, So these countries basically totally dependent on industrial and the economical progress what we have. Uh, okay. So India is one of the important promising country facing energy shortage and has become hindrance to a national development. Okay, energy shortage. Why so? Because these entire industrializations and development as number of population increase, so number of land, transportations, these all and even the buildings and all requires energies. Okay, energy consumptions are way high. Okay, so the transportations and your building, that is apartments, real estates, these two say a major consumptions of energy at present date. Okay, so we required more of uh, non-renewable or renewable power plants, okay, which could fulfill this shortage of energy. So the establishment of new power plants based on conventional fuel would inevitably depend on fossil fuel imports, okay, which fossil fuels are way means it's they are telling to going to be extinct, but it's not that so, as coals are also uh, replaced. Okay, but it takes a way longer period of time to get replaced in this scenario, okay, in this work. So that's why we say that the limitations means the quantity or the amount of coal is available with the entire universe is very low. It may, if this are the progress rate and these are the rate of consumption, then at a shorter period of time this will definitely deplete it. Okay, so there is a need to solve energy crisis by integrating large number of renewable resources that are hydropower, solar, and biomass. The other substances are also are there which are coming into in this, like wind is also there and geothermals are there. Okay, based on the availability at that particular country or region. Okay, climate change is another concern in India, which can be resolved to some extent by increasing renewable energy resources. Okay. So now, according to the BP's World Energy Statistics 2020, significant power generation comes from coal and uh, oil plants, which contributes about 60 to 65, out of which around 64% share is by coal. Okay, in India, now I'm talking about in India. Just a minute. Yeah, and the capita electricity consumption, which has been a mere 16.3 units. So this was the per capita electricity consumption in 1947, which has been increased to 1208 units in 2019-20. Okay, even though this is much lower in comparison with the developed countries, okay, especially focusing on the substantial increase in development, okay, this and industrial going on, okay, this are going to increase further. So these are the advantages what why we are majorly focusing on these things. Okay, so the small advantages what we have covered it out in Indian point of view. Okay, as economic grows, electricity consumption is projected to reach uh, 15,200 terawatt hour. Okay, in 2040 from 4,926 terawatt hour in 2012. So in 2012, this was the electricity consumption which is projected as 15,200. So this is the huge demand, okay, which majorly comes from real estate and transportation sector. Why so transportation sector? Because we have traditionally moved from coal and diesel to electricity. Like we have gone in uh, electric cars are there, electric vehicles are there now again. In railways we have shifted. So this shifting from this traditional coal and diesel portion to the petroleum oil portion to the electricity. Okay, so these rate has been projected to so. Now the renewable energy will account for 55% of total installed power capacity by 2030. So this is the projected thing, but as per present rate that India has means covered this 55% way ahead. Okay, they have covered in 2020 and they will likely to cover in 2025 as there are been a sudden development in this renewable segment. So we are focusing to increase the electricity generation and consumption in this region. Now the other advantage is increasing investment. Okay, the non-conventional energy received FDI. Okay, that is foreign direct investment inflow of US dollar 9.68 billion between April 2000 and September 2020. This was the amount that we have received. Okay, and India is ranked third globally in terms of its renewable energy investment and plans in 2020. By 2028, India can see a renewable energy investment worth US dollar 500 billion. So these are the major impacts what is going on in India. Lot of foreign exchange and foreign investments are being incurred in the sector of renewable energy for development, for the installations, okay, and for generations. The another is policy support. Okay, government plans to establish renewable energy capacity of 500 gigawatt by 2030. This has been achieved way ahead. Okay, in government of India has ramped up its previous target to achieve 227 gigawatt renewable energy capacity by 2022. The PLI schemes worth rupees 4,500 crore, that is US dollar 610.2.3 million, for high efficiency solar power modules manufacturing over the 5-year period. Now, competitive advantage is India ranked 7th on the EY Energy Country Attractive Index 2022. Solar tariff in India has reduced. See, this is the impact of these investment and policies, and the main reason was that the increasing rate. So what they found that, and the another segment is nation is way highlighted in the solar segment because lot of solar irradiations, the good quantity and the good proper time of the solar irradiation is very good. It's very environment friendly, and even uh, in the point view of time period, that is major impact. And the seasonal, what we have a good period of seasonal. There is loss, very low snowfalls all over across the India. So this made that the solar tariff in India has reduced from 7.36 per kilowatt, okay, to 1.9 kilowatt hour. See, this is a major downfall in just span of 5 years. In financial year 2015, okay, it was 7.36 per kilowatt hour. Now it has been reduced to 1.96 kilowatt hour. So this is a major achievement what India has made in the. But these tariffs are for the uh, higher producers, okay, that could sell to the grid part. It's not that you are installing 1 kilowatt of or 10 kilowatt of solar plant or solar setup to generate electricity. So no, you will not be able to get this amount. Okay, definitely you will get around between these two. Okay, but you will not get this. These 1.9 per kilowatt are this is for the major plants of 50 megawatt or more. Okay, now power generation from solar wind projects are likely to be the cost competitive relative to the thermal power generation in India in 2015 to 2030. Like we are paying presently in Jharkhand, in many of the state, we are paying around 5.3, okay, the per unit. So they means it is likely to be whatever the price we are getting from the thermal plants. Okay, whatever the tariff we are paying for grid electricity, so we would be able to achieve that it could be totally based on solar. Like, so renewable is to meet. So these are all the terms whatever was written in that is the same. Okay, solar power in India installed capacity was 36.9 gigawatt as of 30 November 2020. This is the latest data what we have got. The initial target of 20 gigawatt capacity for 2022 was achieved 4 years ahead of the scheduled time. So this is the development what made with those policies and those investment. The wind power in India installed capacity is 37.7 gigawatt of 31 March 2020. Target is 60 gigawatt. Okay, major regions are in north and south zones, and the current availability of biomass in India is estimated at about 500 million metric tons per year. The installed capacity is 1,145.9 megawatt. The other major aspect why we are turning from general traditional way of electricity to the latest this renewable energy, or we also called non-conventional energy sources. Okay, so these are reasons are as population is increasing, so we are the population has increased, so everyone definitely have a good amount, so they are investing more in building, that is the real estate in real estates, and even the transportation. So these two has become a major consumptions of energy. Okay, so you could see building operation accounted for 28% of global emission according to 2020, means, and the construction or the operation, these buildings are accounted to 28% of global emission according to 2020 global status report. Now, there is another development, or you could say it's been there in since last uh, mm, 5 to 8 years. Okay, that we called as net zero energy building. That is net zero energy building, or somewhere you will be called nearly zero energy building. So I will tell you the concept of this. What is exactly these are? Okay, these are nothing new. Okay, this net zero and nearly zero energy building is that a building which consumes all the required, or you could say that consumption is equal to the generations. Okay, consumption is equal to generation, right? So these building this net energy or nearly zero energy. Okay, generally earlier terms it was a nearly zero energy building. Why we have called nearly and why we have moved to net, I will tell you the reason. It was nearly means earlier the development was not so good, means the efficiency of solar and the other parametric conditions was not so that to fulfill the uh, consumption equals to, so there was certain shortage now. Okay, but now it has been achieved these parametric values, okay, based on the, is not based on only in electrical point of view, but it is also based on your civil and other part also, right? So a building which could generate its total uh, consumption is called net zero energy build. Now, the star condition is totally based on renewable. The whole generation is totally based on renewable energy. So what we account for? We account for solar energy, we account for wind energy, we account for biomass energy, we account for hydro fuel cells and the storage, right? Now, there is another segment that is called that we are using storage. Now, solar storage, so it's obvious it's not totally based on green energy. So the concept of green energy and the net zero energy building is, green energy is totally total energy generation which do not count any uh, generation of or any pollutants, okay, any pollution would be not there. So in that account we called it as your green energy. But whereas these net zero energy buildings is a building like we are living in an apartment, okay, so the entire load of this apartment would be fulfilled with the help of all renewable energy possibles, okay. So these are another being classified further into the various segment. The first segment was, okay, first segment was all renewable energy sources that can be accounted nearby or on the apartment uh, area, right? If we have a apartment area of 16, okay, 1660 square meter, okay, so in this entire region, whatever possible generation we could make, that is your solar rooftop or battery storage or we could have accountable into this your small biomass or small rated biomass or biogas plant, okay. So these are the segment numbers. Now, secondly, what they have included that a area where we could, like we have a parking slots, right? So in this parking we could account. So what in the parking slot, what it can be come into the, it will be your biomass plant or wind plant if the wind rate is very good. So we could install a small wind rate, right? So these two are the segment what we have included while fulfilling this term, that is net zero energy building. Now, the third segment what we have included in this is a grid, okay, a grid which could uh, generate or which could supply this electricity whose consumption is based on renewable. This can be accounted, means you can transmit or get the uh, power from outside of the this located area, these two located area, we could get the power from grid. But the star condition what it is being made is these power should be generated from renewable energy sources only, right? It was earlier this was the case. Now this there was no other segment what we have failed in this, that we don't have proper grid facility for the renewable energy. We do have for the conventional energy, but we do not have for renewable energy. So now what the researchers and it is being done is, likewise, the grid part, that thermal or traditional way of generation, that they have a grid, so they are also being constructing parallel grid that would be for solar. Means all the solar generated all over the, like in India we have uh, the rated we have the solar generation plants and distributed solar generation at even major cities. Okay, so what they could do is they could transmit that power, excessive power generation, okay, to the grid. So we are making a market where only the grid power will be running with parallel with the present traditional grid, right? So whereas the market is being make ready to make so, right? Now, a typical passenger vehicle emits about 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide per day. So this is the share. Okay, 41% of share. These are being rated. Okay, these are the tariff. Okay, solar power tariff is 2.6 in July 20. Okay, now you could see this also in Jharkhand State Regulatory Commission. Also, it has also prefixed this levelized tariff as 3.09 kilowatt. Okay, these energy renewable energy projects between 500 kilowatt to 2 megawatt in size. Okay, so this is the rating. If you have a plant of this, you could sell and you can get it from, you can sell this amount to the grid. Okay, this has been fixed by the JSERC, and this is for Jharkhand point of view. Okay, you could see these are present tariff what we are paying, whereas the proposed component tariff, it is not been approved, but they have proposed that this should be the tariff. So you could see if we could have from grid presently what we are paying and what we could pay, right? And everyone knows that all our this transmission distribution in Jharkhand particularly, this has gone to the private parties. So these would be the segment. You will get definitely the reliable power would be there, but you have to pay more prices. So that's why these are the reason what we are shifting to another regions. Okay, so we'll see. This was the basically a introductory part. We'll go on. We have a lot of time right now. Okay, now, as we know that energy is one of the major inputs for economic development of any country. In the case of developing countries, each segment, okay, each energy sector assumes a critical importance in the view of ever increasing energy needs requiring huge investment to meet them, right? So these energy are further classified into these terminology, that is your primary and secondary energy, commercial and non-commercial energy, renewable, non-renewable energy, conventional and non-conventional energy. So can anybody tell me this? What is primary and secondary energy? What is primary and secondary and energy? Anyone? A lot of you are there. Akshay? Yes, Rahul, tell me.
So the primary energies are the potential energies that are stored, through which we able to generate the secondary energies, like the electrical energy.
Fine, good. These primary energies, see, from here you could see, these are the primary energies and these are the secondary energies like coal, right? Coal, thermal, these are this energy, steam, thermal energy, electricity, what we could generate, right? What we get, like coal is there. Coal is a primary source. After processing or after making into power plant or any segment, what outcome we could get? We could get steam, we could get thermal energy, we could get electricity. So these are the secondary, these are the primary. So primary energy sources are those that are either found or stored in nature. Okay. Common primary energy sources are coal, oil, natural gases, and biomass. Biomass means wood. Okay, there is another segment is also there, that is biogas. Now the biogas is your secondary. It is not a primary, but the biogas, this the raw material what it is required are to generate this biomass. It is your primary source. That comes cow dung, animal residue, agriculture residues, everything's coming this. So it is all, you could say, the part of biomass itself. Okay. The other primary sources available include nuclear energy and from radioactive substances, thermal energy stored in earth interior. Okay, this thermal energy stored in earth interior means you have seen lot of places there is your a hot spring, this bath is there. We get hot spring in from the earth. Okay, in lot of cold regions you could see. Okay, even in India these are there. Okay, the in you could one place is there, I think so, it's in Australia or Australia. Okay, one of my teacher son was studying, so he used to show us the picture. In that, over there geothermal is energy is there. So lot of a better example is there. We know volcanoes. Okay, there are some dead volcanoes, there are some active volcanoes, right? So we do not interfere with active volcanoes, because active volcanoes are which can erupt at any time being, right? And there are some dead volcanoes which could be used as a source of geothermal. Why so? Because it is that it will not erupt in frequent time, but the energy stored beneath in, okay, the energies are there which are exhausted from over there, and we use as uh, steams. Okay, we use as steam energy for the power generations. Primary energy are costly, converted in industrial utilities into secondary sources. Okay. There is now again a commercial energy and non-commercial energy. Tell me about commercial and non-commercial energy. The term itself it says. Commercial energies are which you could easily get into the market, right? Like coal and electricity. Okay, we have a market for electricity. I don't know whether you are all aware of not. There is a market of electricity, and presently, like unlikely, like foreign. Okay, India is not that much involved in the market, but there is a market present there now. What in foreign it is, there is a market. Okay, their market, what they do, like the network what we have, right? We have options that these Reliance is giving us uh, lesser in lesser same amount of calls and net back at certain amount. Airtel is giving in same. Okay, so in foreign what they have is they have a market for electricity. If they would see that which electricity department or electricity options are paying them a lesser price or lesser tariff, they would be switching into that particular zone. So these are the options what consumer do have. In India it is not so. and it will take a longer time to implement this. But yeah, we are also being in the list. So commercial and non-commercial, okay, energy that are available in the market for a definite price known as commercial energy. Okay, this electricity, coal, or refined petroleum like diesel and petrol are the commercial energy. Natural gases. Okay, fine. Non-commercial energy are not available in commercial market for the price for. Okay, so this includes firewood, cattle dung, agriculture waste. Okay, nowadays it has been came that you could purchase cow dung in commercial sites, but though it is not, it is generally used by rural areas. Okay, firewood, agro waste, and rural areas, solar energy for water heating, electricity generation. So these solar energy you will not get it in the market, right? Now, the thing what we are going to study is about renewable and non-renewable energy. All the terminologies are almost same. Next, the terminology will get a conventional and non-conventional energy. It's almost same. Just general certain reason is there why it is named so and what is named is not named. Okay, renewable, non-renewable. Renewable, it can be reused or it can be renewed, right? And non-renewable, it cannot be renewed. So we have renewable energy is obtained from sources that are essentially inexhaustible. Okay, examples include wind power, solar power, geothermal energy, tidal energy, hydroelectric energy, right? They are abundant in nature. Okay, it's not going to replace in or duplicate over in few span of time, whereas non-renewable energy are coal, oil, gases, which are likely to deplete with time. Okay, it will take a way long time, but yeah. Okay, the most important feature of renewable energy is that it can be harnessed without the release of harmful pollutant, right? So the major point of view is it can be harnessed. Okay, if you say the renewable energy is green energy, no, that will be not truly correct. It is harnessed without the release of harmful pollutants. Okay, see, we need a solar PV, okay, to harness this solar energy into electricity, right? So now these components, this process do not include any pollutions, okay, any harmful pollutants, okay, release of any harmful pollution. But before that and post that, it does involve the, right, like we are making a PV panels. So making of manufacturing of PV panels do involve, yeah, this generation of pollutions, and whereas this energy what is being converted into the DC energy is not pure DC and is not uh, regular. Okay, it's not a it's not constant that you will get this amount of energy constantly. So we need a backup that is in any form, like fuel cells or solar energy. Okay, you require these. So these energy, this process, okay, the storage, okay, battery, you know, the battery is one of the main pollution creation. Okay, that involves lot of uh, manufacturing a solar battery, any batteries do involve a lot of pollution. So this process is only is harnessed without the release of harmful pollutants. That is the essential term you have to attach everywhere. If you say that renewable energy is a green energy, no, it's not fully correct. Now, the another term is conventional and non-conventional energy. Conventional, what we are being following, okay, are being traditionally